Everybody introduce themselves. Today is Pop Dog. I'm in the cut.
Go by name T Cool.
It's your boy Leslie, your favorite light skin.
Cowboy sucks.
Cowboy, we got some.
God, you see some cowboy friends do.
I'm gonna announce a real team. How about them Texans? It's your boy businessman.
And y'all can't even get a starter's jacket. You talking about the Texans? Come on, man.
And that rude individual in the cut.
Oh.
All right. So look, before you even introduce yourself, we're gonna
Yeah.
give. Let's say this is the owner of the best resume service in Houston, Texas.
Fourth largest city in the country.
Fourth largest city in the country. Black man that does his thing. Can we give him a drum roll, please? Best-selling author. New Orleans representative. All the way from the booth. Hey! Robert Williams in the cut. Tell me who you is and what you do for the people who have no idea.
Best-selling author of 2 novels, Made It Out, Crabs in the Barrel, both of them on Amazon. Feel free to cop them while we're sitting there talking. Also owner of Williams Commerce Writing Services. I ghostwrite books. I have the #1 resume writing services in the 4th largest city in the country. And I'm of course a Unity as well member. Also,
Okay.
Major impact on my career. So, yeah, I'm here. Can't
Okay.
wait to chop it up with y'all.
So let's knock that off in the beginning.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, first let's say your story. What I know what they're about for people who haven't seen or who gonna watch or who gonna
Right.
listen. What are your books about?
Well, Made It Out, I mean, people look at the cover, they see a black urban man with a backdrop of New Orleans on the cover. They think I'm talking about making it out the hood, and that's not necessarily what I mean. I'm talking about made it out what society wanted me to be, and also talking about making it out of corporate America to become a best-selling author and a business owner.
What was your process of becoming an author?
Man, actually, I had no intentions on becoming an entrepreneur until my corporate career ran dry. So I really did some soul searching once I realized that wasn't what life had for me. And I looked at my talents, with my gifts, my God-given gifts, and it's talking. So I started a podcast. It was called Straight to the Point, top 200 on Apple. But I'm always looking to grow and I'm never content. So I was like, I'm a writer. I've been writing. So I was like, man, I got a crazy story. Let me articulate this through some literature. And I Made It Out, and hit #1 on Amazon. And then I took a quote and made it out and flipped it into a book. And that's how we got Crabs in the Barrel. And we talking about the barrel, not the crabs. And that really is to allude to everybody in the culture to realize they have the power. You don't have to be an entrepreneur to advance the culture. You could, each parent has an enormous amount of power to advance the culture, and even employees with how we relate to each other and how we spend our money. That's what I'm talking about with Crabs in the Barrel.
Okay.
That's my 2 novels.
So when you say the barrel,
Yep.
you're talking about the system, what's around the crowd,
Yep.
why they're acting like that because they're not inside of the natural habitat. So for me, the solution would be, mine is unity as well.
Yep.
To you, what would be your solution to bring forward to people on what we can do different so that it won't be, so even if we're going to be crabs, we won't be in the barrel?
Really conceptualize, who we are as black culture, because what we see today, like how they try to portray black culture in the media and through textbooks, that's not black culture. And by me I had parents that's both in their 70s now, and my brothers and sisters there in their 40s and 50s. So black culture was different to all
had
three
generations inside.
Right. And if we look at Crabs in the Barrel, we could look at Europe in the 16th century. That was really the Crabs in the Barrel then, when they had the economy based on mercantilism. So as we got here, that's when we kind of started identifying ourselves as crabs in the barrel. And it's all systematically designed for us to be like that. So once we conceptualize the barrel, then we can get out this.
Okay, so when it came to entrepreneurship, what are some of the things that you had to stand up against to say, all right, I got to make this happen?
Really just surrounding myself with the right people. So that was my big motivation once I realized, I'm going to write this book about Crabs in the Barrel, because I wouldn't have had my success as an entrepreneur if I didn't surround myself with the right people and change the people I was hanging around through when I was doing wrong in life or when I was working my jobs. I had to surround myself with like-minded people, and that's another reason I joined Unity as well, because my career is taking off just having that right energy around me and other people that's trying to grow in that same direction.
All right, so from your perspective, what has Unity as well done for you?
Oh man, I have a whole different resource group. I know me, like the consciousness I've been had that before it became like brought to the light with our economic standing in this country. So I've been seeing that. So for a while, I felt lonely in life because everybody else didn't see that. So as when we met on Cedric Killer's interview, me linking up with Ced, then linking up with you, I mean, it's been a growth to where it's like, I realize it's like, I'm not the only person thinking like this.
Yeah.
So me aligning myself with other people, I mean, if you put all that energy moving in the same direction, I mean, shoot, that's how I'm able to move so fast. Like I said, I dropped 2 #1 bestsellers in 8 months, and that wouldn't have been able to happen. It's all good. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't have been able to have that if I can't call Pop or Terrence and like get that energy for them when I'm discouraged or when I'm tired, or if I see him working at 2 in the morning and I won't go to sleep at midnight. I see my boy over here grinding. I'm gonna feel like grinding. But if I see some other people and I'm surrounding myself with other people that's not on it, I'm gonna gravitate towards them. So that's why Unity as well. I mean, we group message at 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning,
3 in the morning.
right, or 6 in the morning. Like
Anytime,
everybody working on
24/7.
yeah.
So you gotta put it on mute
Right,
sometime.
right. But if I saw Crabs in a Barrel House Society and wants me to see it, I wouldn't have realized what's been my biggest assets, and that's people that they consider crabs.
Yeah, nobody really considers the value of people when they look at how much things are worth anymore. They keep on thinking so much in terms of money or resources that they don't see that the people are the resource. So when I say unity is wealth, I'm like, look, when you come into this network, not only do you have the information I have,
Right.
I got the best writer in the city that'll write for you for the cheapest prices in the city.
Exactly.
So
Facts.
it's each person is their own resource. Everybody is a bank. Like they say, when an ancestor dies, we lose a library. Everybody is our own source and library. Man,
I'm about to tweet out.
all right. So, what is your end game? What do you want to see? If you woke up and the world looked like how you wanted it to look, what does it look like?
Us on top. I mean, we're a dominant culture. We have so much potential. I just want everybody to realize their power. And I just want to see all of us. I want to see the crime rate gone. I want to see dual parent households. I don't want to see manipulation between each other, even with business or even with relationships. All this single parent households, I mean, that's something from the 70s and 80s. That's a phenomenon, That's not, like if we look at the statistics, I mean, we're the only culture that doubled as far as like single parent households and all that when they deindustrialized the economy and
When they start
African
telling people
advancement.
we'll put you in the projects for free if you take the money
Right,
out.
right. And women got rewarded for having men outside of the household. So if we really look at, so when World War I and II happened, it was an economic interest for black people to advance because most of the European Americans was fighting overseas in World War I and II. So then when immigration came and then benign neglect came about, we wasn't even like a priority as far as that advancement. But and I said war on racism, that's the subtitle. We need to fight our war up here. We can't vote our way out of oppression. We can't picket our way out of oppression. And I'm not knocking voting because we do have to play that game too. We need to fund our politicians so they'll have our best interest.
Thanks.
But we need to conceptualize how we can advance, and that's working together and relating to each other different from what society wants us to be.
So coming from New Orleans, everybody talk about stigmas along with cities and the type of people that they produce.
Yep.
What did you see that the government was doing? Because Louisiana has the highest imprisonment rate.
Yep.
So what did you see that the government was doing that were creating people to act a certain kind of way or become savages or become niggas, whatever you want to call it?
Really, we don't have a lot of people don't look at it like this, but when I came to Houston, I realized how segregated New Orleans is. Because when I was in high school, in New Orleans, you would go to an all-black school or all-white school. And all of our schools, it's just ridiculous, what they did with black education. Cause
Shout out to Edna Carter.
Man, shout out to Edna Carter, McMahon.
Hold up. So y'all name in school, A, Reed.
Hey, shout out to all of our black students. But look, let me get back to it. So when my dad was in school, he went to Carver. That's one historic black schools they have left in New Orleans that's been around since the 60s and 70s. They had all these different trades you could learn. You could be a plumber, you could be a nurse, you could be all these different economically relevant skills you could learn. So I mean, I don't think it's different specifically what they did in New Orleans, I think by them changing the public school system, they created these ghettos. I mean, Fifth Ward, Houston. I mean, we got DC. And what they're doing now is with gentrification, I mean, they're wiping us out. So we got to think of here. And now it's like New Orleans, they got, I mean, people, European Americans walking around in what was projects, you know, and so all that land, you know, is being taken for us, and it's like where we going, we're being dumped in the east, we're being dumped across the canal, and we're killing each other, and they don't have a lot of opportunities for us. So it's like the same thing that's being done in New Orleans is being done everywhere else.
I wanted that to be the center of our conversation today, opportunities,
Yep.
because the internet allows us to be able to have access to instant opportunity. There's nothing we can do. So when it comes to being a writer and having writing services, what are the type of things, or what is it a gateway to when somebody comes to you to say, hey, I need a resume? And I'm not just saying I know it's a job, I'm saying they can write grants, letters, requests for proposals, anything that looks beautiful makes them money. So what's the benefit of having a writer?
Oh man, definitely. Because like, for example, we gotta take advantage of our resources. Like, just because you're a great business person doesn't mean you're a great writer, and just because you're a great writer don't mean you're a great business person. So you gotta surround yourself with people, and like you gotta know when things to delegate. For example, when I wrote my first book, I tried to hold that up, T, right quick. Hold that, made it up right quick. I tried to make that book cover for 2 weeks. It was the worst 2 weeks of my life. It was terrible. So I had reached out to, you know, I delegated that to somebody else, and they came together with that within a day or two. But so I took advantage of, you know, I've delegated my weaknesses and focused on my strength. So if you know writing is not your gift, you know, you could be busting your butt all day, but if you don't have that person to articulate what you're doing on a resume, even just the format, it's like people don't know, but it's like I was a hiring manager at several Fortune 500 companies before I started my entrepreneurship, and I was weekly, daily communication with high-level job recruiters, regional HR managers. So aside from me articulating what you bust your butt to do, I know what they want. And I know, like, even with cover letters, I worked at a few oil and gas companies temporarily. If your resume didn't have a cover letter, it's gone. And then, like, even with a cover letter, people don't want, dear Mr. whoever this may concern. Nah, I'm writing this from what you telling me what you want to do. And see, that's something else I ask questions. I want to know what's your preferred job title. I want to know what you don't have experience in, what you do, so that I can articulate that in a personalized. And that's better than just you just paying for services. No, people don't know you. You're just in customer number 1, 2, 3, or 4. I'm communicating with you.
Ooh, that's really a ball. All right. Nah, for real, because they say people don't seek to be understood before they want people to understand. Or they don't seek to understand before they want people to understand them. So now with writing, it makes it to where I can be completely understood. You don't have to wonder what's going on. You can look at it, read it, it's in black and white. And ain't nothing better than something being in black and white. All right, so what was the focus, or what was the thing that made you completely shift what you was doing in life?
So even with
from corporate to, I ain't even talking about made it out the streets. I'm saying, start where you want to start. Cause I just want to know both.
Like made it out. So when people preach to me, so my thing, I was a basketball player. I played basketball at Tulane, and I just grew up like it was like basketball or else, and that's when I kind of had that like I went astray in life when my goal of making it to the NBA. When that was like gone from me, because that's what I've been focused on my whole life.
I'm gonna be in the league.
So my second, and that's something we get to later, but the second thing was like get a great job. So I'm sitting here running this race in life, and we get it to the ribbon where we think it's success. I get there, and I'm like, hold up, this ain't for me. I'm not saying everybody run their race differently, but I saw my way to have a bigger impact on society and the culture to do what I'm doing now once I realized making it out is not getting a great job for Ross. Making it out because somebody getting their record expunged, or making it out of cancer, or making it out anything. But for me, making it out was what society wanted me to be, or what my teachers and parents told me I should do, and like what I felt in my heart and soul to do. It's so crazy. I had so many out of body experiences because I went to lunch and never came back in my last job. And I'm not sounding like the employee from hell, but it's like you've been in so many bad corporate relationships to where you're giving it your all and they treat you like crap. and they're intimidated by your power and your hard work isn't rewarded, or they limiting your growth, you know, I was just like, forget this. And it's like, man, I had so many out-of-body experiences, like telling me to start a podcast, telling me to write a book. I just went with my heart, you know.
You know, you get all the ideas in the world when you ain't got it going, and then when you get it going, you like, wow, I'm doing this for real.
Yeah, it still feels, it's still like that's even with the book sign. It's like, man, I've been having my head down writing so much. It's like, man, I didn't really conceptualize, like, dang, I really dropped 2 bestsellers in 8 months. And I got something else to announce Sunday, so y'all make sure y'all there. But it's like, man, it's time to celebrate. It's time to bring attention to a black author, because we need more authors, you know?
How do you stay humble in the midst of writing 2 bestsellers in 8 months?
Because I'm true to what my main goal. Of course, we need to make money, but I have a passion behind what I'm doing. So my passion is to impact as many people as possible. So it's like, I know I'm not close to impacting as many more people as I, you know, will do. So I know I will make movies. I will do write TV shows. I do all that. So it's like, I'm at like 5 or 10% of my success, and stay grounded, you know. It's like and stay true to African culture, because like I don't worship celebrities or worship certain accolades. I worship how much you impact other people, and that's how I judge a man or a woman, how people relate to you. You know, I look at teachers, like the teacher I had shouted out in my second novel. He was like the only black teacher I had from pre-K to college. One black teacher in that many years of school. And so people like him I look at as like a superstar in my eyes, or like coaches at playgrounds. So it's like I just keep myself grounded because my values are A1 and my intentions are A1.
Honorable.
Business right now. I have a quick question for you. Do we ever get writer's block sometimes?
Humbly speaking, no, because like I said, my heart's in this, and this is a gift. So to be honest with you, if I can't wait till I get to the point of my career where I can just sit down and write all day. I've never run out of ideas to write, so I don't get writer's block.
Okay, I just want to ask about some testimonials.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the things that people come back and tell you after you grieve?
You say that one more time.
A testimonial, just one person testimonial after
Like
you grieved for them. What was something that happened?
Oh man, it's endless. Cause like if we were talking about resumes or books, it's like people realizing like, man, I don't have to
writing
work
a whole
this
book
job.
for somebody is kind of the best thing in the world.
Yeah, and then like just different things, you know, even just like for parents to realize like, hey, you know, just because my relationship didn't work out with this person, don't mean I should block them from their kids, or realizing, hey, I should trust this other black man and not look at him as an enemy, or hey, you know, I'm bigger than this job, or hey, you know, just realize, man, maybe I do need to focus on working, because like this is my race, this is what I got, you know, and making it out could be somebody making it from an entry level position to a manager position. So really, I mean, like humbly speaking, like it's testimonies every day, and I don't want to put one above the other because each of them mean the world to me, you know.
Speaking of testimonies, I know you mentioned in your book, but both of us came from Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
How can you tell someone to bounce back from that and have goals to reach?
As far as Katrina, I mean, the biggest thing, my biggest takeaway from Katrina, like I really got to conceptualize what's important in life. Like, man, I used to think those FUBU jerseys, you know, my second Genesis. Yeah, like, that's not really that important, you feel me? Like, I miss simple stuff as far as like seeing certain friends every day that I grew up accustomed to seeing, and now I don't even know where they at. You know, even to this day, some people I still reconnect with after Katrina.
Yeah.
So like really sit back and see that anything material could be taken away at any moment. You know, so that's really the biggest thing, to conceptualize what's important in life. And I know a lot of people lost family members due to that flood.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know you mentioned in the book, and both of us came from that same environment.
Yep.
And some people have gave up after Katrina, even though it's 13 years later.
Yeah.
And some people have still
That's
gave
hard,
up.
man. That's hard. Like that hurts me. Like even to this day, I could be at the best moment of my life, and I see a news because I lost everything in Katrina. Like, man, I had like 13 feet of water in my house. You know, so my baby pictures, like I'd be excited just to see a baby picture of myself. You know, so my subconscious still hurts just from seeing those things. So, I mean, I'm not, you know, I can believe it that some people that shake back from Katrina, but just really conceptualize what's important in life, and just happy to just be here and make the most of your journey.
Yeah.
All right. So what does this mean to you? I saw this on your site. It says, don't overvalue people's opinions over your dreams. What does that mean to you?
Ooh, man.
Wow.
We control, a lot of us controlled by emotions and opinions, you know, because I know some people I know love me or give me their last kidney. They laughed at me when I said I'm gonna write a book. And at first I was kind of like in my feelings a little bit, like, dang, you don't think I can do this? It's like how many authors do each one of y'all know? So not everybody knows what it takes. The thing about an author is you could bust your butt for 8 months and not earn $1 off what you're working on. So everybody didn't see that till they hit #1 or till the money started coming in. So, but if I would have been controlled by other people's opinions and I valued that bigger than what's in my soul,
Stagnant.
yeah, or even people that you feel like, because I know each one of y'all in this room, y'all probably been on some journey and y'all saw people y'all was close to and they didn't support y'all like y'all think. And you like, dang, you know, I thought we was like this.
Right.
Why you ain't got this
Always.
book?
Yeah, and then, but it's like, sometimes we just be so caught up in what we're working on, we don't conceptualize what other people are going through. So maybe that person called us broke. Maybe they counts in the negatives and they can't afford to come out. But I mean, look at social media. Like, how would you feel if you uploaded a picture, nobody liked your picture? So those likes,
Hold that thought.
Yo, I'm starting the all likes matter.
All likes matter.
yo, give me my support, brother, with the Cowboys.
I take a picture solo and get 6 likes.
Yep.
I take a picture with my girl, we get 134 likes. I'm like, what?
You know, you
will, baby.
gotta realize.
Did she say you're welcome?
She knows.
But to keep it G, like with the article, y'all should read it out. It's on my website, williamscommerce1.com. It's like, even those likes and comments, that's a form of support. It's not the kind of support that's most ideal, but we have to appreciate that because they didn't have to like your picture. They didn't have to take 5 seconds to comment. And you know, and then some other thing, like, I know some people when they climb in status, y'all can look at any one of my pictures, I comment back. I don't care if you're an egg. Thank you. Thank you. You feel me? Because I mean, that's helping my algorithm get on people's explore page. You feel me? So I really appreciate every like, every purchase, and I appreciate it. So like, even as influencers, like, don't take those likes and comments for granted. Engage with people. You know, don't think you too. My followers up a few thousand. I ain't got to comment back. Like, if I have 3 million followers, you know, even if I get to a point busy, I might have somebody that can comment back for me. I tell them what to say. You know, like you act, I stay humble. You feel me? I stay grounded.
Okay. So for the book signing, tell people, let's roll that out. What we looking forward to?
Oh man, we #1, the Q&A. You know, email questions. You can either send it to Pop email or DM me, text, call. Just get your questions in. I want to do some interacting with readers and people that support me. You know, so we're gonna be here. Great networking event. We're gonna have business owners in the building. We're gonna have parents in the building. You feel me?
We don't want to take away from the
and unity as well. I mean, and then also it's like, this is my first event, so I'm looking at doing many more events. So this one is specifically great networking, interacting, because like 10 people could read a book and have 10 different opinions. So I kind of want to clarify some of my intentions and what I meant with my work, and I want other people to connect with other people. You know, so I mean, it's just a great networking event. It's time to
this
celebrate.
Sunday.
This Sunday, where we're sitting at now,
At the Media Block. This Sunday at the Media Block, 3 to 5. Book signing, Ross Wigs.
Yes.
Come on.
And special guest popped up.
Special guest popped up. We're gonna be talking about whatever y'all want to talk about. You can email questions, and there you go. What do you want to leave people with? What's one thing you want to leave impression on people's minds? So when they see you, when they get ready to see you Sunday, they can be thinking about it already.
Just reach out to me. Like I said, I reach back to everybody. So if it's like a question, a comment, or like you have a question about writing, or you need my services, I mean, reach out to me so I can personally help you. You know, so I mean, I'm a very accessible person because my heart is to help people. That's why I'm in this, because I could be sitting behind a desk, like if I would have conformed to what corporate America wanted me to be, I could be making $150,000, $200,000. I was well on track to that. But I feel like what I'm doing now is to impact the culture. So I mean, the biggest thing is see everybody else as your assets and realize it's the system against you. It's not us that's against you. And we've been designed to, this isn't black culture we're living in now. Violence, robbing, manipulation. I mean, we're the one got manipulated. If we look at before the 1930s, the biggest gangsters, the only gangsters were European Americans. So realize what true culture is and let's relate to each other better than we are now.
All right, let's take these pictures. Anybody else got some word?
See you Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you in Houston? Come through Sunday, man. It's free.
Oh yeah, it's free.
It's free.
It's free.
Pull up, ugly.
And let me just give this special opportunity. Like, man, we sitting next to the modern day Marcus Garvey, who is, like, I'm serious, because we have, like, you spearheading a humongous movement, man. And like just me linking up with you is obviously the universe linked us together for powerful reasons. Yeah. So man, salute to what you doing and thank you for keeping it real with me from day one. And being a brother, I mean, I feel like I'm closer than you than some people I went to kindergarten with. You feel me? Right. And that's just us keeping it transparent at 3,000 with each other. Exactly. So I mean, I thank you for not only having me here today, but for having my back as a brother, and also leading the movement to help spark other people's consciousness and people to maximize their potential. So
I'm doing this right. So I got this all in the water, right?
You gotta get the roses while they can snap them in the trees while they can inhale them. You feel me? You pay homage, and that's one thing. If you see a brother doing this thing, or a sister, a queen doing this thing, let them know those words could like have them going from here to here.
That's a fact.
So like don't you shouldn't be too caught up in who you are and your pride or ego to salute another brother or sister.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's a paradigm shift.
Actually.
Putting on around here. I look forward to continuing and growing and prospering and being innovative and non-stop and shit. Next year we're going for a few million.
Man.
That's what I'm talking about.
We'll fumble the bag if we don't.
Seriously. Alright, I'll be back. Come on, let's take these pics.
I own Mbluxewigs, where I specialize in making hand design units for clients that suffer from like hair loss, alopecia, and hair breakage.
Oh.
Pretty exclusive.
I didn't know that was specifically what you did. That's pretty live. Let's go in, I want to start here because we always start with entrepreneurship. What is your story of entrepreneurship and what pushed you into it?
Oh, my story of it, I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs. So my grandmother, my grandfather, my dad, they were all entrepreneurs. And my grandmother was a hairstylist. So from like knee high, I was 9 years old doing hair, like in the kitchen working, doing hair. So it was always in me. But what pushed me into entrepreneurship was I got fired from my job. And I really didn't have a choice. So I packed up my car with everything I had, my curling irons, my comb, my brush, and me and my baby girl, she was I think 4 or 5 at that time, we hit the road and I started doing hair for like 30, 40 bucks a head.
What you mean y'all hit the road?
I was driving around Houston.
Real life, pulling up and doing hair.
Pulling up doing hair. People house, I didn't know. And it was like I had to hustle. It was I think a week or 2 before Christmas.
Alright, and you had the Christmas day yet?
I don't really celebrate Christmas, but she got what she needed. I say that. She got what she needed. So.
Alright, so I seen you post earlier. You said that you started off doing free classes, and now you're doing classes from 800 to 1500. So when you were doing free classes, what was your mission? What was on your mind?
To change people's business, because I'm seeing a trend with like education right now. It's the saturation of education. So it's like information is just out there, but not all information is good information. So I want to utilize my business to transform not only their business, but their lives. So I get real deep, real personal, behind the scenes, and I basically almost build it from scratch, from the ground up. So I don't just give them techniques, I'm giving business plans in my class.
And everybody that comes to you is in the hair industry?
Mm-hmm.
Is it mostly black women?
All black women.
All right, so
we the top spenders. I mean,
that's
we spend about $1 billion a year.
The way that we spend, operate, do hair, nails, in the beauty industry, period. What is something that needs to be implemented that we can capitalize off ourselves?
I would say we need to build our own. We don't own anything. The Asians, the Koreans, they own the Chinese, Japanese, whatever it is. They own everything and they keep everything within the family. So we don't own nothing, but we spend the most.
Is it the prices? Like, do they have certain prices that you just can't reach?
I don't think so. I mean, we spend whatever we want to spend on. And you mean as far as what I invest my money into, or what I would charge for a service?
Why are they controlling that part?
The mindset. We don't have that mindset yet. I think that we look at things as just like, okay, I want to buy this just to have it. But if your money is not making you more money, you're really spending it wrong. Mm-hmm. So each person who comes into my class, I'm talking about, investments. Like, well, what investments have you made before you ran into me? And one student, she spent $10,000 just on information. She didn't even have a website. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, well, what are you getting inside these classes? And I think it's a hype. So they go to like these celebrity people and they pay for a name, but they're getting absolutely nothing. So I'm trying to come in and change the way we think, change the way we operate, and change how we spend our money.
And your classes are limited. It's not just a bunch of people that can pile in. You have a certain set that can come in.
I have a cutoff. I don't want it to be a production. I don't want it to be a show. I want to really, really like touch the basis of everything moving in my class. So I and it's free now, but I incorporated a mentorship with my class. So whether you want the information or not, you're going to get it. And I get personal. I get deep into it. Like, I'm asking people, what brought you into the industry? How can I help you? What do you want to see? What do you want from it? And to be honest, a lot of them don't know. They're just in it because it's a lot of money. But at the end of the day, we have a lot in rotation, but we not, like I said, we not owning nothing. We're spending the most.
All right. Recently, you told me you was ready to retire from doing hair.
I am retired.
You retired from doing
retired,
hair?
Yes.
So what made you say you don't want to do no hair no more? What made you say that? Was it the leveraging the internet so that you can basically replace yourself with it?
If you want the honest to God truth, I felt guilty for how much money I was making. I'm talking like at one point in time.
Don't ever feel guilty for how much money.
But I had to like.
You deserve it.
That's true. I had to reconsider how everything was moving. So let's just say if I'm making $40K a month from my business. With that $40K a month, the only reason why I felt guilty is because I didn't have it back in rotation with us. Mm-hmm. So now the money I have coming in, I'm creating team mentorships. So like for young girls who want to learn the beauty industry, I'll work with them for free. So I just got my 501c3 for that last Friday. So it's like the money I'm getting, the money I'm making, I'm putting it back into us. So now it just makes more sense. Like it just makes more sense as to why I'm in the industry now, because I'm not just doing hair, I'm making an impact. Because that's how I feel like when I was doing hair, it was like, I'm doing hair and I'm just putting wigs on people's heads, but it wasn't purposeful for me. It was like real, and I wouldn't say in vain, but it wasn't filling the void. So the money was good, but it was empty for me. So I was like, nah, it's not for me.
Is it a lot of people with hair conditions?
Oh yeah, it's more popular because of the products that's put into, I want to say particularly black culture. Like in black women, we have a lot of chemicals that's put into these products and we're not reading the label. So not only are we losing our hair, we're getting cancer, we're getting sick. Like this stuff is frying our brains out. So it's not just about the weaving or the braids and the sew-ins. It goes back to the relaxers, but nobody talks about that.
See, okay, they have a black widow spider. What the black widow spider does is it's basically a woman that emits pheromones, and the smell of their pheromones attracts all of the men, and they kill the men because that's what they do. I don't know why. This is the story behind that. But women's hair, that's the natural aphrodisiac because it emits pheromones. So the thing that the black widow spider emits that makes the men come their way, everybody emits that from their head. And when they do that, the chemicals stop that. So it's like they're destroying their mind and they're destroying their own image, like in their aura.
Power, basically.
Yeah, their power. They're killing their power. It's in their aura. So that's something that I didn't know that you were a specialist for people that had hair conditions.
That's why, yeah. That's why I went particularly into that.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Mm-hmm. That's what a trichologist is, and I just found that out 3 months ago. I'm going up to beauty school saying, hey, can I get into the trichology program? And they're like, well, what is that? Nobody even knows. It's an untouched base. No one knows what it is. So that's what I'm going to school for. starting in January, so I can actually start doing scalp tests, offer like hair replacement treatments and natural raw organic products for our hair, because them brands gotta go. Because not only is it it's affecting us, it's affecting our kids. We're putting that stuff on 3 to 4 year old babies' heads. So they growing up. They growing up, I mean, not even having a chance, and they don't even know what beauty is because we covering it up.
Covering it up, trying to make it look like something else when it's supposed to look like.
Exactly. It's not really accepted in the black culture.
Natural hair. If you send a little girl, remember Blue Ivy was coming outside and everybody was telling her, why they got our hair? Why she in the fro?
I remember that.
like they were tripping for keeping the hair natural being outside.
The thing is, we get criticized for our hair, but like our culture, how we look, everything is being mimicked. Like, you know, I just seen a video on Facebook of an Asian. He got his hair shaved on the side. He did something at the top of his head, and it looked like dreads, bro. Like kinky, like the new grow and everything.
You know, we the culture of cool. We just don't capitalize off all our markets. So even when you're talking about specifically the black beauty industry, they have millions of dollars going on, billions of dollars going on monthly almost, because women are spending $500 on hair, and that don't include getting their hair did. $600 on hair, $700.
People are spending $600, $700, $800 on hair. That's not including the service. That's just the product.
Just for a month.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
And how long does that last?
It can last anywhere from a year to 2 years, depending on how you maintain it.
That's a good service.
It's like a name brand, like a luxury handbag.
I heard you just be holding on to hair like that.
I was just gonna say, I thought that was ratchet, bro. I was like,
on to somebody
you
else
see
now?
them get washed and all kind of
For 2, 3
shit.
years.
Yeah, I know girls who got drawers full of hair. They have to take them out and put them on.
Yeah. I mean, and we don't really look at it as like, oh, I'm wearing somebody else's hair. It's not even looked at it that way, but that's exactly what it is. And so the reason why I got into this specialized lane is because for some people it is a necessity, and for some it's not. But like for the clients that don't have hair, they have hair breakage. It's like you can't just walk outside with nothing on your head. So you, at that point, you have to have it. And they have different textures of the hair, so it's not just like a straight or curly. We have Afro hair, like kinky, curly, and real tight curls. So we have more of our variety into the weaving industry now, but it wasn't like that 3 years ago.
You're almost a superhero out here right now doing that. She's saving people with bad conditioned hair.
And alopecia.
And alopecia.
I can't spell alopecia.
Giving them a whole new scalp. You know, they just used to scalp people. They give them a whole new scalp.
True. Scalp test. Beautiful.
That is true.
Okay, superhero.
How you get somebody a scalp test?
All right.
Exactly.
I want to
We have to go
go
through testing, skin test. So I would be like a bridge between the hairstylist and a dermatologist.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
I want to go into the quality of hair. What separates it? Because I see like it's a big competition. What is the separation of quality of hair?
Honestly, all the hair comes from India, but it's manufactured in China. So all the hair is sacrificed. It's in the Indian culture.
Yeah.
So yeah, it comes from India. Most of it's like probably salvaged or scrapped up here, and they process it and they mix it with different chemicals and different things in China. But all of it is coming from India. So to be quite frank, there's not really a wide variety of what the hair is, and they mimic different cultures of it to call it Brazilian, Peruvian, Malaysian, Cambodian, Vietnamese, Chinese, Filipino. They have different names of it, but it's all coming from India.
That's crazy.
So the only, like, the highest quality you can get is Indian raw.
I assume that all this hair was coming from different cultures.
Yeah. No, I have a Brazilian.
We got that Southside Houston right here.
No, nobody in Brazil is putting out their hair. I have a Brazilian client and she got a fro like me. So no, nobody in Brazil is cutting out their hair.
Okay, let's go into. I want to go into the book.
Okay.
So I haven't read it yet. What is the message inside of it?
You never give up. It's a motivational book. So it talks about how I went from minimum wage, $10 an hour, to having a 6-figure hair business. So I'll talk about like my trials, my tribulations, when I left the industry, how I came back, how I bounced back. Because it's like in the industry, and as women, if you don't work, you don't eat. So we don't get paid maternity time off, we don't get paid vacation time, and you really got to have a hustle behind whatever you do. So I'll just talk about like planning ahead, knowing daily goals. Because a lot of us are making a lot of money but not doing anything with it. So I'll talk about investing, how to save
time
it.
outs come, you ain't got nothing. You done spent everything.
What opened up my eyes like for the truth of everything was Harvey. Because it's people who I knew that's like making money every single day. And they was hurt during Harvey because there was no money coming in for 2 weeks. And if you miss a week and you make it pretty good, that could be $4,000 to $8,000.
Yeah. If you make $8,000 a week and you spend it $8,000 a week,
Mostly,
you living good. But once that break come,
that's it.
Yeah, you gotta figure something out.
Yeah, and I know a lot of like retired hairstylists that was making millions, and now they posting in ballers alert on Facebook to get discounts on services in their 40s and their 50s. Yeah. Exactly. You know, in their 40s and their 50s, so it's like when you making all this money, how are you investing it? What are you doing with it?
So, like, I know, especially in our community and with black women, the support matter amongst each other is kind of like not existent. What would be your message on like how are you working to kind of change those views? Because like black women don't really support each other. If they do support each other, it's like some fake or it's for a particular reason.
In other words, they do support one another. It's like they're trying to compete with one another instead of supporting.
Right.
And I have a serious problem with that because you see a black woman, say black women in general. You see them coming, I don't care if they're makeup artists, stylists, whatever the case may be, they're coming up, but they want to down talk that black woman because she's doing what you're supposed to be doing. Especially in launching your business, because I know so many hairstylists, so many makeup artists that, she's not doing it correctly.
Absolutely.
That's not how she's supposed to do it. Okay, y'all come together and figure it out. But no, you want to down talk her because you want to tell her, she's not doing it right, but she's making more money. And launching her business is going on triple, and she going across the world. And you still sitting in your ass talking about her.
But see, that's the issue. She focused on the not and the can. So it's like if you whatever you focus on grows. So she focused on what somebody else can't do. She just did a reflection of herself. But I've had over 7 business partners, mostly females. And so it was the year 2014, 2015, 2016. I had multiple business partners and they all messed me over. But the first of this year I connected with my best friend. Her name is B. Renee, and she owns a med spa in Upper Kirby. And her and I just kind of connected, and despite what people tell me, like, and told me, oh, you can't work with people, black women can't work together, I don't focus on that because that's just saying what we can't do. Besides what we can do. So her and I, we think on the same plane, and you just got to connect with somebody who is like-minded with the same goals and ambitions as you. So we have a heart behind what we do. We're not just in it to make money. So we have organizations that's going to like connect people, I don't want to put it out too early, but we have a network, a huge network for the industry that's coming. And we got to put a whole bunch of folks on our back, but it has to stop. Because we don't work together at all.
Because I could be wrong, but I barely see a all-women business.
No, you're right.
Barely.
In Houston, you probably couldn't name on your hand 5, like dominating black women, just pushing each other, supporting each other, working with each other, and being genuine behind it because it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I had, it was funny, like I was on a date, and I was telling, explaining to them what I was doing, what I was in the mix of, and I talked about women a lot, because that's pretty much like I really don't socialize outside the group, even besides my team or whatever, but she told me I was riding this dick. I got pissed off. Like, I ended it. I'm like,
anytime I've spoken about pop or unity is wealth, it's like, well, how much is it? Oh, I don't have $20 a month. And I'm like, we sitting here eating at Chili's. They got 2 for 22, but you don't got $20 to fund not only your business, but other people. Like, it's not just about him. He's making a platform for other people to, promote their business.
See, the thing is, we probably talk about all the time. It's the mindset.
It's our mindset, and if we don't change it, and if we don't change it quick, we're gonna be in last place. Because they moving ahead quick. And like he said about the hood and the projects. Like I grew up in Third Wood, I grew up in South Park. Excuse me, and I've seen the worst of the worst. and I grew up in drive-bys. I seen, I saw a lot, but it's like we think it's okay, and nobody's talking about solutions to what is going on. Like, do we not see an issue with what's going on? Do we not see a problem with everybody having chains and cars and money, and we flashing this and that in the club, but when somebody passed away, we can't even bury you. Yeah.
Real life.
Exactly.
You literally have people with $50,000 on their body, but access to nothing
at all.
Like, probably might not even be able to let somebody borrow $300, $400, but they're looking like something. It's ass backwards.
Right.
The other day,
Absolutely.
we Papa was talking. We in South Park. This is like a bunch of stray dogs walk by. We ain't think nothing of it. He like, bro, you know that ain't regular, right? I'm like, damn, it really ain't. We so used to our environment that it's like it's nothing.
Yeah.
This shit, crackheads is
attention.
nothing. Shootouts is nothing.
Yeah.
Stray dogs is nothing. Dirty floors is nothing.
Because we've become conditioned to it. And it's like, I could definitely speak from my family and how I grew up. And when I talk about starting my business or writing a book, and the first question is, well, how you gonna do that? I don't even be knowing how I'm gonna do what I do. It doesn't even matter. It's just a matter of having a mindset to execute what you're behind. But we don't have that mindset.
A lot of people are always worried about the why instead of just worried about trying to get it done.
Absolutely.
And once you start, it's a wrap. You gotta finish. So we were focused on like the negativity, but you always focus on the positivity, because on your page it's gonna look like love. You get a lot of love. You give a lot of love. What is your reaction to how your book did? I just saw you said you was expecting to sell 20 something. You was expecting to sell 20 books.
And it's funny because I started my book off with a disclaimer. And my disclaimer is you're going to probably see misspelled words. My grammar not the best. I made like D's and F all through school. And like I said, I sent my book to like 4 people, 4 of my friends, and nobody read it. And it's like, I just woke up one day and I was like, you know what, I'm putting this book out. I don't care if it's perfect. I don't care, if it just changed one person's life. Because that was my goal, just to get this in one person's hand and say, okay, if she did this and she did that, then maybe I can too. And the feedback I got, it had me in tears, because I was like, it's no way.
And it's non-stop feedback.
Every day.
I've seen the testimonials.
Every day. It's been non-stop feedback. Cause I thought about the book maybe about 4 years ago, so I had it in my mind. It's just I hadn't written it out yet. But like I said, the first of the year when I connected with my best friend, and we did something called the rebrand, and we shut everything off and shut social media down. And we went in our rooms and we just started writing, and we just started writing our business plans. And it's like when it was time for us to come out, we was ready because we had already fasted and gotten everything, put out on paper, like you say, put the pen to the paper. And when it was go time, it was go time. And we didn't look back since.
Once you seen it, you had to make it happen.
I had to make it happen. And I'm glad that I did, because one lady, she inboxed me and she was just saying how she was kind of torn between starting her business, because she's a mother too. And it's just kind of hard to navigate when you don't have that support. And so she was saying that from reading my book, if she see that I can do it, my parents have passed away, my children's father is not in either of their lives, and I do it solely by myself. So if I can do it and she can do it, it's never too late. And that was my purpose.
Do you ever stop and be like, I'm proud of myself?
You know what? Not really. I don't.
People gotta do that.
I don't think I do enough as I should.
Man, I'm the hardest person in the world on myself. Somebody asked me the other day, you proud?
I think it's because we got so much we want to do. It's like I'm just getting started. I'm just scratching the surface. So when I look back, on where I came from and where I am now, I get elated, I get happy, but it's not. I've never celebrated like I probably should. I ain't celebrating myself.
What's one thing you want people to get out of you? You taking the young girls, teaching them how to do business, how to do hair. You're taking the people who have damaged scalps and turning them into beauty queens. What is the message that you want to send out?
I just want to motivate and inspire people to just be their best selves. Because I was always the person that was focused on helping other people. But I didn't really get better until I bettered myself. So some people take it as being selfish, or oh, you changed, or oh, you different. I done lost so many friends. Exactly. I done lost so many friends behind this business, and like family members who I ain't close with no more. But it wasn't personal. But I had to develop me so I can come back and be my best version to help other people. So I just want to motivate and inspire and help people.
I heard Steve Harvey one time, he said, whenever somebody called him, he don't answer for 2 weeks. He said if they say call him from his hometown, he don't answer for 2 weeks because he ain't know they always want something. So he wanted to die down by the time he answered. Like, oh,
I don't even want
oh, you ain't called to talk to me, just be cool, huh?
I mean, that's true. Like, working for free and just doing favors, it's all, you know, it's all good and it's all cool, but that's only going to happen if I know that's going to be reciprocated. Exactly. If I call you, I need that same energy, I need that same favor. So I'm good with extending myself, but not if it's not going to be in return.
I am B. Renee. She say I always celebrate your wins, not wins.
That's my best friend.
Shout out to B. Renee. I got a opinion too. Somebody say, what's on Instagram? She quick.
Like, when you have a team, you gotta plug your people in. Because if you see one, you see the other, and that's my sister. So I don't even look at her no more. We family. I don't even look at her as my friend no more.
Like, and it's action behind that, so I don't even gotta say, nah, it ain't like that, cause even on here, you know what I'm saying, ain't nobody asking her, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She here participating, making it interactive, and this type of stuff drives conversation. Cause now I can look at this, talk about it, other people can look at it and be like, you know what, I need to tap in on Instagram and see what she really got going on.
Exactly.
Man, I don't think people celebrate the little things or they don't even count it. That type of shit matter.
We don't. I think it's a cultural thing though. Because it's like, let's just say, for example, birthday parties. Everybody will come to a birthday party, but everybody won't bring you a gift.
Boy, everybody.
So, everybody there, but, you know, they
everybody get a plate
They're not
and a
there to
drink.
give you a gift, so
Right.
it's not really a celebration.
not one
See
dime
people
in
that's
it.
just there for the play.
Exactly.
That's true.
But that's how it is in business, though, typically.
Yeah.
Especially you first started out, basically nobody not gonna be around. But soon your business is booming. Everybody out there, oh, I know you're gonna do this, girl.
That's not
man, I knew you're gonna do this, my man. I knew he's gonna do this. I knew you had it in the whole entire time. All of a sudden, we were you first. First quarter, second
When
quarter.
you first started your business, what did you project? What did you think you were gonna do?
It's occurred to get me on my mindset. So when I first started my business, I was exchanging my time for money. So I was like, well, maybe if I work 5 hours a week, I can make $500. But now I start realizing that my time is immeasurable. I can't even compare my time to money no more. So in the beginning, it was just how much can I get in a day or a week or a month or a year. But now it's like, I'm not even thinking about that. Whose life can I change? What business can I start? Like, how can I be at home more with my kids? Right. So my goal at first, it was just to make enough to survive, to make sure I'm good, bills paid, lights on, I got a car, something to eat. But then it just started kind of shifting and transition once I found out that that's really not the end goal. Money is not my end goal because I know a lot of rich, unhappy, unwealthy people.
Thanks.
So yeah, the real riches is in family and support.
Okay. Coaching, training, consulting. Houston, Texas, tune in. If y'all really need any kind of thing in the beauty industry, there she is. That's her Instagram. And if you're not in Houston, don't forget we Fifth Dimensional. You can tap in with her right now. Right now. You can be in Calabasas like, hey girl, I just seen you on the ground. I'm trying to see what's up.
I was gonna say that was quick.
Hey, they tell me it was that fast.
That's the internet. Change your life.
Tell you, let me get that life tape. Alright, so any words you want to leave the people with, anything you want them to remember you about?
If y'all don't take nothing else from our conversation, take that I'm just a young girl from the hood who decided that minimum wage was not enough for me.
And that's making 6 figures.
Yeah, making 6
No cap.
if I can come out the gutter in the slums, and you can too. That's it.
Alright. Even get y'all little girls to tune in. I keep on telling people that these type of people that you got access to on the internet, if I would have had that when I was like 8, like, what the, you know what I'm saying? I get to choose a person that's somebody I can follow.
To look up
you know what I'm
to,
saying?
not
I can
the
follow
media
their way.
gave you.
Yeah. So, stop. If y'all kids can know Kim Kardashian and whoever else, make sure they know
What's
MoniBee.
what's old boy, old boy with the clothing line? He young, like 10, 11, 12.
Spurgo, 12 years old.
12 years old. Clothing line.
doing his thing.
You know, that's dope.
It's what we had when we was in Philly talking to him. His mama say, well, you make shit teach you. Like, well, you make more money than me now. I can't tell him too much. I say, yeah. Ain't that lie? A 12-year-old selling clothes.
Yeah.
He have a store too, right?
Nah, shit, he's strictly online. Had an online marketplace.
That's crazy.
So we gotta get these kids out here doing what they want.
Yes.
They could be drop shipping wigs.
Sure.
For real.
That's the goal. I'm gonna teach him that.
For real. Alright, thank you. Let's take these pictures.
Thank y'all.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Don't you have something new coming that you about to do?
Classes. Besides classes, I have online education coming, webinars, podcast series. As Pop said, hair media. So
There you go.
I have a lot of conversations coming for the hair game.
Yeah.
So don't get to talk.
Yeah, this network is real.
Yeah.
Come on, you real, Will. You got me fucked up. It ain't me, it's the people that died to these. Alright, we out of here, man. We'll be back. Donald Trump threatens to cut GM subsidies over job cuts.
I thought I seen something where a whole bunch of people already got cut, like this week.
Yeah, they
it's already
actually
started.
stopped a few plants in Ohio based on production of Cruise was the Chevrolet Cruise was created in Ohio. That car did not sell, so that plant closed. About 14,000 jobs were lost. And his issue is the government saved them a few years back.
Yeah, that's how they got down on Detroit when they
Right.
cleared it.
Chrysler was part of that rebuild or whatever they passed to help American cars. For whatever reason, they not thriving, so they cut jobs here, but they still kept the factories open in China and somewhere in South
So
America.
what is Trump saying?
This is the thanks I get.
Exactly.
It's-
That's what he
this
said.
is-
It's like
yeah.
our government did so much for y'all, and y'all
It's
still
what you
cut
do.
the jobs here. To hell with y'all. We finna go at y'all now. Now they at war with y'all.
I totally agree with that.
There's one thing I can agree with him with.
Yeah.
And
This Bill Trump ass,
that's on
He
the cool
do-
though. Like that's one thing that I do support on his views. All that
Business,
old doing business
This- yeah,
outside
that's-
the
that's-
U.S. he
the
not
whole
for that.
thing about it is-
He not for that.
The whole thing about it is this fuck Trump, right? But America is a business and all he doing is operating it like
Exactly.
Yeah, because he's a
You know what I'm saying?
business.
It ain't like, and he's going to crash it, and that's good for us. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? That's what he do. He drive his stock up by crashing the business because you could just write it off. And he doing that with the country though.
Like
That's
the whole
live.
country.
That's live. That's live.
That's for you. He
That's
building
like
his
a-
stock, crash it. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's just a paper.
It's kind of a genius move, if you ask me. It's kind of a genius move. I mean,
Yeah,
who
how
sits
much
back
money
and think
you gonna
about, oh,
make
I
after?
can do this with the entire country. I can make, you know. He
He's
did
very
that.
much doing it.
I know you're gonna make so much money off of this after he's out of
Oh,
office.
look, we were talking about this the other day, right? So when we talk about write-offs and doing business, he's the person to look at. So
And that's why I support him.
when you wake up in the morning and the socks you put on are Donald Trump socks, the shoes you put on Donald Trump shoes, Donald Trump suit, Donald Trump tie, all of those companies don't have to make money. They can just be luxurious things that I put on, I brand myself so I can wear it, and then when they fail after 3 years, fuck it, I'll just start a new one. So he limousines, everything is his, and it don't have to. He just built his brand off of doing shit for free. So that's, you gotta understand how if you can operate in the system how they teach you to. Because like I said, you got that book with Robert Kiyosaki called "Why We Want You to Be Rich," and that's all they talking about is how to beat the government. And this nigga is the president doing that shit now. Come on, bro, that's wild.
That's crazy. And old boy that was with him that's going through the court cases and everything.
You?
Yeah. He coming out. He turning on him. He was saying when he was really in Russia, he really was in Russia on business.
Yeah.
Like so, it's already coming out that he been doing plain
Yeah,
business.
you know
It's like-
that.
You
You
know
know that.
The law is once you run for president, you're not supposed to do business anymore. That's the law.
But still,
But
So what's the next one? Alabama man killed at a mall, had a legal gun. I saw this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody was shooting and he pulled his gun out.
Yeah.
And basically, he actually was on their side.
No, he was actually
He was saving
he was saving people.
He was saving
You know
people
what I
on
mean?
their side.
And
In other words, he
they
was helping
ended up
them. but they killed him instead because he had a gun.
That's it.
I said if I was in the mall and somebody was shooting and I have my gun, that hoe coming out.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
No
Right,
question.
right.
Because I ain't finna be getting shot at. And
Right.
if I see him shoot my direction, I need to, you know what I'm saying? So the mall police, not even like real police. Who shot
police
him?
officers.
Real police officers came and shot him.
Not the mall security.
Now
Real
the
police
issue
officers.
is
No
they
warning.
said there was no warning.
No
That's
freeze.
There's witnesses saying that there was no warning.
They just drive
within
and
milliseconds
shoot.
they just shot him.
Like
But
normally,
at the same time, if I'm a police officer, I'm probably shooting too if I see
They
a
go
But
to
my sister,
They
you know how many
Hold on,
times
hold on,
I have
hold on.
seen white people with a
They go
gun.
in.
And they
Like,
try to
Get
ask
to
what's
point
going
that
on.
hoe at them, walk around, scream, I don't want to put it down.
Yeah.
Right.
And
You know what
they
I'm
still
saying?
letting them make
Fuck
They
it.
still letting them make it.
Shoot me. They do all that.
they don't do nothing.
Black
about it.
man out the military, hey, get the safety. Come on.
Yep.
All they get is a boop, 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 boop.
No questions asked. Just pull up.
Come on,
I hear you.
man.
But I ain't
At
lie.
the same time,
But I
I'm
see
not
what I'm
giving
saying.
any person a
No.
chance to turn their gun towards me.
As long as
That's-
it's black, like you get white
But,
cops on you.
like,
I'm saying any person. It don't matter. If I
So
see
he
my
can't get a
gun
freeze.
and I heard
am I
they was
mistaken?
shooting,
Was
You
it
can't
like-
get a freeze.
Was it
You
holstered?
can, I can see you go.
I'm not gonna say freeze ever.
What, did he have a weapon out or was it
You're not
holstered?
gonna pass.
I'm not
no
sure.
test.
I haven't
I'm not
read
trying to
that
be
part. I
police.
haven't read if it was in the holster or he had it out. It was in the holster.
I believe he had
and
it
it's-
out though, but he was helping people. Like,
But
to
see,
get
the
away
thing
from
is,
that violence.
this is my
He in the
thing.
military, so
Right.
he ain't just freelancing like.
Yeah.
Just out there just.
He know what he know.
He
How to
know
hold
how to hold it.
You
He
know,
know how to
hold your
put
shit
it.
down like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
He tactical.
But see,
He only 21, so he's still in the
yeah,
military.
but I think what happened from the police officer point of view, they think he's a threat, but he's not. So they shot at him.
And let me tell you, like as a veteran, like we don't play that shit. Like them drill sergeants when they teach you weapons training, they will knock your bitch ass out if you loose with that weapon. I didn't seen women like Shane get their ass knocked the fucked out doing that weapon like they don't play that. So I
So
know,
you know he-
for
you know
a
what I'm
fact
saying?
like, he wasn't pointing it, he didn't aim it. If he point that hoe and aim it, he finna shoot.
He finna shoot.
And he gonna kill you.
And that's probably what they saw though.
Yeah.
If I see that he's finna kill somebody, he got to kill
That's
shot
why I'm
ready.
trying to.
But you get them
you
warning,
said he
though.
was
You-
getting people
yeah.
away from fire, right?
But how are they supposed to determine that in the middle of the fire? Bro?
Yeah, because right now everything is going on at one time right now. So please gotta react to
You
one
get that
thing. You see a
call,
gun.
But
You
if
get
he
that call
running
on
away
radio.
from the scene with the weapon pointed to the ground, like I'm sure he had it, with people coming out
They
this
don't
way.
know that.
And they
Police
couldn't
don't know that.
determine-
Okay,
The
you
man was
can't
in the
you
military
can't ask
until
the
he was
people on
dead.
the side
I'm
what's
don't get
going
me wrong. I'm not
on.
defending the police
You gotta
officer.
assess the
I'm
situation.
not-
The whole thing
Yeah,
is
that's what I'm
Why,
saying.
Yeah, I'm
why
not
was there
defending
not any warning?
Yeah,
Why
just
was there
say
not
freeze.
any warning? Yes, freeze.
Give
Put
them
your
an
weapon down.
opportunity.
Put your hands
Freeze
up.
mean you finna jump back and pop my ass.
No. Freeze mean I already, when I shot to kill you, I already got that same look.
I'm already
So when
on
I
it.
say freeze, if you move my direction,
That's
yeah.
it.
Even in a
But he's
war
naturally
zone,
gonna
bro.
move your direction if you say freeze. He gonna look up at
Bro,
you.
I'm
and
not-
just
I'm
go
not
like that.
accepting that.
That might startle you to shoot him
Nah.
anyway.
I'm not
You
accepting
shouldn't be a
that.
police officer if you too scared to say
Alright,
freeze.
that's why I'm not a police
I done
officer.
You ain't in the wrong business.
I done been smack middle in the middle of war in Afghanistan, Kandahar, bro, and I done
And
seen
you
people
have
get
orders.
kicked out the out the military for shooting or pointing a weapon without permission.
Yeah.
There are rules to engagement. If we can have those rules to engagement on somebody else's turf,
Well, you know
what I'm saying?
they ready to kill
Right.
you,
You know what I'm saying? Like
They
these
have it
people
here.
walking around with AKs, they can point them at you, they can shoot in the air, all that.
and you can't
You
just
still
shoot
have
them.
to call up to people that's way in the United States to ask for permission to shoot.
All right.
Speaking of breaking rules.
Breaking all the rules.
Speaking of breaking rules.
Hold on.
What's going on with the White Howard, man?
Man, he
Wow.
grabbing balls on and off the plane.
Just on TV, I saw the little clip where he just sat down next to the.
Grab some
he
balls.
just
Oh,
grabbed
that was Isaiah
balls.
Cannon.
Oh, that part I didn't know.
That was Isaiah Cannon.
That's supposed to be my boy Mark brother. So
Oh,
Okay, well he got his balls grabbed.
Yeah, he
Well,
grabbed-
whoever he
yeah.
is.
So look, the thing is, he play them games all the time.
oh, so basically he grabbed ball.
He grabbed the ball.
Say, forget smacking on the ass. I'm just gonna grab him. I'm just gonna grab the balls.
Like he grabbed somebody.
But hey, now, Breakfast Club brought up a perfect example when they was talking about this particular situation. Transgenders, they're fighting for equality, but every time something don't go right with a situation like this, they're quick to blast them.
Blast him.
You know what I'm saying? That's
So,
kind of
I
contradict
think
yourself.
too, he didn't really blast him. He said he was my ex-boyfriend.
That's blast.
But
If it was his ex-girlfriend, she would have said the same thing.
were y'all
It's
out
my
in the public? Were
ex-girlfriend.
y'all out? When you're with a girlfriend, you're gonna be out with a girlfriend. I ain't never had a boyfriend that I just wasn't out with. You weren't even out on the scene with this person. So when you do something like what he did, you're blasting somebody. Like you're not supposed to. I
You
mean,
gotta
you're
come with
supposed to be in
some
the
kind
car.
of receipts
Yeah,
nowadays.
I
What they
mean,
say, what are
well,
receipts?
you do have to have some receipts. She had plenty of receipts. Too.
Plenty of receipts. She had some. She brought out heat.
I mean,
she
it did.
I mean, screenshots. I saw
But then
screenshots.
also,
everything.
the transgender is also someone who's done this in the past.
For
So
real?
he was wrong. He was lying.
Oh, for
He
real?
photoshopped receipts.
Yeah, it ain't shit to Photoshop something, by the way. So I ain't gonna act like.
So
But that White Howard is just
Is he not
highly
saying that? He
in
ain't saying
question.
that. Like, why are you not saying anything?
Hey,
You're
look.
not saying anything about it either.
yeah, he has not
Like, you
denied.
making yourself looking.
I haven't seen him tonight.
Yeah,
Not one time, man.
You don't
Not one
understand.
time.
Hey, look, you know the funniest shit to me right today? I was thinking about, y'all remember people used to think Sierra was a man?
Yeah,
We did.
Bro,
We
that
all
shit
are.
was
Yeah,
hilarious.
right.
Yeah.
Motherfucker said,
Who said
people,
that?
who started that? That's what I'm
Because
saying.
everybody know.
They had a video
everybody
and
in the world
everything.
knew that.
Niggas had all kind of
It was
evidence like,
supposedly
Sierra is a man.
Supposedly she was on some TV show or something. And
She had to have a baby to get up out of that.
But with these trannies, I mean, if you're gonna, you need to, if you want to stand, have your rights, and you want to be, accepted, stop doing stuff like that. First of all, let the person know who you are. Some of them go without even letting them
Yeah, I'm
know
about to say
what they are.
that's the White Howard one.
Yeah, as soon as they
I
skirt
only
up, I'm
seen
like,
one
oh shit.
picture, but it don't even look like a woman. It look like
It's like a man.
Wesley
It's a man.
Snipes.
Look like a
It's
man.
known as
Yeah.
a man.
Woo too. What was that?
That's
Who's
That's what Wesley and
who's that transgender name off of Spark? I mean, not Spark, Star.
Oh, that I
keep
forgot
up.
her name.
Like no, she was
Don't
straight.
keep up.
No, cause she looked like
She look like a woman.
She like a straight woman. You never think about it. She looked like a straight woman.
Queen Latifah's daughter on the show. I cannot think of
Y'all
her
talking
name.
about
They say she had
Don't you
surgery.
better not say
Like
that.
she looked like a straight
that name
woman.
pop up all the time. That name always pop up, man.
But
And I,
Just-
you
because
just
I remember,
tell us
I remember the
like
picture
a
of the
woman.
boy in the suit. That's the last time he was a boy. He had like some glamour shot, Motown on and shit.
that looks like a woman.
Dang.
I don't got nothing against nobody affliction. It's just, everything ain't beneficial to the masses. For them to
This guy.
push.
Oh man.
Takashi 6ix9ine arrested.
What
He
they
gone.
Oh,
Is he out of that?
They
What
He
they
gone.
don't got court. He
They
got
gone.
a federal
He
sentence.
got
So
federal.
they
Long
sit
time.
in.
They gonna watch
They
TV.
sit in jail before they
Oh, yeah.
even
And
they
then
sit
like
in court.
He facing life.
He did.
Like he done, and then
They won't even let him
Treyway after him, cause Treyway like they
yeah,
said
'cause he
just
was
cause he
talking down
denied on
Say,
him.
look, the whole shit is right. That the case was coming down on everybody. They was already fucking him out of his money.
Anyway.
So now they like, he know we fucking him out of the money now. He don't have no reason not telling us because he could save his life.
Right.
So they were finna smoke him. Then he got picked up, and now he, you know what I'm saying, 6ix9ine got a whole situation going on.
Don't even know it.
He was doing stuff he shouldn't even. He had no business.
He probably didn't even know he was a part of that shit.
Yeah.
But he knew
I
though.
was gonna say I have a hard time believing he didn't know. He knew.
The reason
He knew.
6ix9ine was
He
able
wasn't
to pop is
gangster.
because they were saying he had the real streets behind him.
Yeah.
So, just like, you know what I'm saying, he knew everything that came with it. He just didn't think that he could get tied up in a
30.
case
They gave
like
him
that.
32 years.
Yeah,
No.
That's on
the
the
minimum.
light
that's the
side.
minimum. Yeah, that's the minimum. Not yeah.
If he get convicted of all of the things, he like.
Yeah.
But he gonna be in there with a stove, refrigerator.
Nah, he finna go home because he finna tell on everybody. He gonna do about
He
5
gonna
years.
snitch on. He gonna snitch
He
on.
finna tell on everybody, go home.
He
He
gonna
gonna
have to
never
go
be able to do
into.
nothing.
But
He
then
gotta
again,
definitely
but
go
then
home.
if he snitch, if he snitch on people, he
But
might
look, the
keep
way
it.
the world is now, I was like, I think people will still be
They
like,
will.
Yeah.
no, he should have did it. You know what I'm
Isn't
saying?
his current song was on top? On the
Cause
chart?
you
Yeah, it's called Mama.
And he
Last
ain't
one called
touring
Mama.
now.
With Nicki. But matter of fact,
I mean,
that video shoot is the one that got shot up last.
Yeah.
With Nicki and was it Wayne? I don't know.
No, it was
Kanye.
Kanye.
Kanye,
Kanye
yeah.
was there.
But look, that's what I'm saying. Like, people still, if he could go tell on everybody right now, come home in a few years, he gonna have a homecoming. 6'9".
Crazy.
Yeah.
He might be dead though.
Might be dead. He might look that way. I say.
I ain't tryna
And no matter what,
I ain't trying to wish death on him. But
I feel what you're saying because no matter what, you can't avoid your past.
I was
He's
gonna say,
already.
Trey ain't coming for
It
him.
ain't even about. That's the least of his work. He already had niggas on his head for that. You know?
that was like his words.
So, and when you ain't a millionaire, a hot artist at the time no more, when that money run dry, you can't go from that to being a regular person no more.
Yeah. Speaking of niggas on niggas' heads, bro, this boy Tory Lanez been killing.
Tory Lanez versus Jordan Lucas.
Yeah, man. Jordan Lucas is a lyricist. That's what's crazy. And Tory Lanez just can't, you know, like, just relentless with it, bro. I wish I had some bars for y'all from him, but I don't. 'Cause I have
I
terrible
thought he
memory.
just dropped like a song and just kind of said some slick shit in
Who,
it.
Tory Lanez?
Yeah.
Nah, he
It
dropped
was a
2 disses
whole
already.
list.
Yeah, 2 disses so far.
Oh, I gotta catch up. I just heard it first.
Yeah, so far it's
on
been
the Cowboy fan.
back and forth. Who a Cowboy fan? Jordan Lucas?
Jordan Lucas,
Yeah.
Cowboy fan.
That's crazy, but his team winning right now.
See, there you go.
Yeah, it's 3 minutes left. 13-10. New Orleans got the ball though.
In the game.
Yeah, that's all right though. That's why I'm being calm. I ain't talking no noise. I'm just relaxing.
It is what it is, man.
All right,
Why
so
you
who
shaking?
winning this? Who won this?
So far as Tory Lanez, and Tory Lanez said he want push a T next.
Oh, he want battle.
He just wants some
He
friendly.
want- he want
He
a
said he
battle,
on some
he want a
friendly
battle,
battle.
yeah.
He trying to see who
Yeah,
got
yeah.
bars type shit.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He said he got the best bars out there,
Oh,
and he's showing that he kind of does.
I got more bars than all these. Lil Jon opens another school in Ghana.
Yep.
Who knows for Lil Jon? That's
I
awesome.
like it.
Yeah.
I think people, man, Africa's so big,
Oh,
bro.
Lord. I don't know about that.
Yeah, he African,
Rough.
right?
He African, nice.
What does that mean,
I was gonna say,
bro?
I don't even know what that means, bro.
I know some beautiful African people, man. Like,
I
just
don't-
because that nigga look dusty as fuck.
And he
Say he look
does. He looks
African.
so dingy and dirty right there.
First off, this is
I mean,
Lil Jon, right?
no,
But he,
yeah.
used to, he was a millionaire looking dusty and dingy.
Y'all gonna fuck with this man. Look, y'all gonna fuck with this man accomplishments.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, back to the
The
part.
message, not the messenger.
Trying to get past the looks. Right?
And shout out to all these celebrities lately been just dropping school after school after school.
Yeah, a lot of people doing
LeBron,
some
P.
social
Diddy.
justice. Now. They creating things that have to be.
By the time they taking all that money they're making and doing something with it, giving back.
Yeah, I think that's the new cool.
Huh?
Alright, it's 10. Oh, the Lion King.
Let's end on the Lion King real quick. The Lion King reboot.
Muhammad.
Yo, man, that's one of the greatest movies of all time.
Beyonce gonna be enough.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
I ain't watching it.
They are making
Hey,
it
don't
about
do that.
her.
I ain't watching
The
it.
Beehive is making it about Beyonce.
What?
Man, it's
Beyonce?
not.
That's
She's
why-
the voice of knowledge.
She's a
She has
voice.
nothing.
And that's why I'm not
Okay,
watching it.
Why?
I'm
Still gonna
watching
watch
it.
it.
You a Beyonce hater, bro?
Yeah, I like
Why?
Bro,
Beyonce.
she
Why?
fucking age, bro.
What's wrong
It's
with
just
you?
like, hold on.
Hold on. Beehive.
From the train.
Let me put this on
Let me break that
camera.
straight down.
I want you to
Let me
stick
break it
to this.
down. Now, just like the Dallas Cowboys.
No.
Just like this, for example. Hold on. It's a reason why I said that. Dallas Cowboys is a good team. I ain't gonna lie, they are. But I don't like their fans. That's why. So Beyonce,
So you
same thing.
take it away from
Hold
her.
up. Beyonce is a great performer. I can't take that away from
Ain't
her.
nobody messing with her.
But yeah, nobody on her level
Can't
right
touch
now.
her. Can't-
Nobody.
So watch
But the fans, some people like they worship her.
Oh,
like,
no.
She's
soon-
a god
No,
to
I
them.
mean,
Yeah, like,
I don't-
it's like,
I'm
it's
in
like
the Beehive, but I don't worship her.
if you say anything, I don't care if it's good or bad, they get ready to tear your ass up.
So can I
and
hear?
right now, somebody probably
I
I'll
said
tell you what, our show was ready when
Yeah.
what's her
We thought
name
we was
came
gonna
out with
go
the
Can you
bike
say this nigga
situation.
Can you say this for me one time while on camera? He
We
said,
do
I
not
don't
approve
fuck with Beyonce. Say that.
I don't fuck with Beyonce.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I needed that.
I don't need
That's
it.
it.
Come on, Beehive, come on.
Okay.
That's
good.
Oh, you trying to go viral?
I'm fighting all inside my
Hey,
mouth.
disclaimer real quick.
That is not us.
Views do not.
Respect, that's the
I
name
am
of the network.
Beehive. I'm
does not
Beehive.
represent
I am
We ain't
Beehive.
in it.
This is not me.
Hey, Beyonce-
Beyonce, you already know you got a real live goon right right
No,
here.
like right now, they already on my case. They already on me because I told them the quarter 5 is garbage, and I still stand on that. Quarter 5 is garbage.
Hey, Beyonce, hey.
Anything else you want to say?
Hey, Cowboys just
I
picked
know,
out
God,
Breeze.
this
And
By the time y'all won the game, get some. By the time y'all won the game, get some. But anyway, I don't
That's
listen to
how you
quarter 5.
downplay that, huh?
Quarter
Oh, the game
5 is
over?
garbage.
Nah, not yet.
Beyonce,
Just pick
I
up.
love
Let me get my
Beyonce
things
because
and gather my
fans
things
worship
and-
her every foot, every step,
We don't
every
worship
hand, everything.
it.
Did we have a tagging yet?
They are
Nah,
tagging.
they ain't attacking.
Oh,
I'm gonna post this one. This.
And they will. They gonna come out.
You
the
think you
woodwork.
gonna get away with this? I'm a hashtag Beehive.
The bees gonna be on you.
Look, that's Debatable Network. Does not approve this message.
All right, we gonna
Disclaimer.
say these things.